Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and go. That other getting old. We got Samurai and Tom. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spending with Samurai and Tom. From the puck to the glove to the pigskin's high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
For the Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, Super Bowls, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'd love to welcome everyone to episode 38. Episode 38 of 440 and Goal. Thank you guys so much for joining us. To my wait, on the screen it's to the right. To my right, I got Sammy with the coffee cup. Down below us, we got Tom. Yeah. Exciting show tonight, guys. So everyone knows, we've been advertising a little bit, but we do have the head coach, Chip Sorber, and the defensive coordinator, Don Shimsky. I think I said that right. I'm trying to narrow that one down. Of the Geneva Eagles, they will be joining us tonight at 9:30. So everyone, stay tuned. Very excited. This will be our fourth Tuesday in a row with some coaches on.
Well, we had Coach Delgosh, we had Coach Butchko, we had Coach
Rankin,
Edwards, Coach Rankin, and this is the fifth.
Oh, fifth.
This is our fifth.
Fifth Tuesday in a row. We're starting a trend. We're trendsetters, I think, is what they call it in the youth generation. Not trying to show my age here, anyone's, but yes. Hey, what up, Scone? Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it, man. Always on. I'm sure Pump Boy's on here, and I know Joe Rich is on here somewhere. Coach Rich, how you doing, buddy? I got to talk to him. I think that was last Sunday for about a good half hour. We had a good conversation. But
I like to take.
So how you guys?
Go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna say, how you guys doing today? Wonderful Tuesday evening.
Well, I'm sweating to death in my basement. Other than that, I like to take. I like to take random, new kid slang that I hear, and just say it to my daughter because it just pisses her off to no end. So today's dad slang of the day is cap.
Yes.
So, no cap.
Yes, it is.
No cap.
Don't be out there capping.
So she told me, I asked her, I said, how's volleyball going? And she's like, she's telling me about it. It's good, blah, blah, blah. I said, that sounds like cap to me. She goes, Dad, stop. I said, don't be capping.
Don't be capping, dog. Don't be capping, Shorty.
You know what the great thing is when you do that, you can rest assured they will never, ever say that again. Like, that word is dead.
Word died.
Ooh, I think Grandpappy's in the house.
Hell yeah, boy.
What up, buddy?
Hey, yeah. So we got some good news on the house end today. Good news. The lady is going to pay for new stuff with the electric box, which I was telling the guys about. There's some stuff. House is great, but inspection found some stuff they wanted to have us pay for, and I was like, nah, I ain't paying for that. You're gonna do it. And she came back to me and she was like, yeah, no problem. So it's all looking good. It's all looking real good.
Anyone that wants to sell a house, they just do whatever they got to do. That's just the way that one rolls.
I mean, you guys are car salesmen. You know how that goes. If it's within swinging distance, once you get to that point where it's financing time, whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
My motto is
just keep signing, baby.
Yeah.
I'll do anything.
Oh
for you.
man,
I will.
well, yeah,
What about you? You're out there acting like a lot lizard. How's that going?
Yeah. Hey, it's going good. It's good. I'm finding out that it gets hot in the sun. It may be 75 degrees for most in the grass, shade. It's really nice. But when you're on pavement walking around, it's about 110. Yeah, and I've made a point, and I don't do this very often, and I've decided that this is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start at least once a day eating relatively healthy. And I haven't decided whether or not it's worked out well because I get tired towards the end of the day. Maybe I'm not carb loaded up enough. But I'm working on, and I know it's not a big milestone, but 2 days in a row I've had a salad. So if John's watching, I've had my salad.
Well,
you don't have to bust my
legit.
chops about it. So
I'm sorry, you're trying to feed me the food that my food eats.
Yeah, Ron, go ahead. Hey, I'll tell you, Brian.
But
Kind of
yes.
going off of that. When I told you guys I wanted to lose some weight, what I ended up doing was buying those Starkist tuna packets, like that little packet of tuna, and I eat only that for lunch. Okay, I used to like want to fall asleep at like 2:00 when I would eat like Burger King for lunch. Now drinking like a bunch of water and eating that, I'm energized all day, brother. It feels good.
Yep.
I think your
So
wife's
what happens
skinny
for me?
played a point in that, but
Right. What happens to me? I wore. What does that say? I don't understand the
cap.
emojis.
Yeah,
No
of course
cap.
you don't.
No cap
No
jerk.
cap.
Oh, no cap. Okay.
I'm at this magical age right now. I'm 33 years old, so I'm not like old enough where all that stuff is beyond me, but I'm still too old to really know all of it. Like, but the beautiful thing is my cousins are all, my family is my parents are much like me and my wife. We had our kids young, like 18, 19 years old. So did my parents. So most of my cousins are 10 years younger than me. So I've got a couple 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old cousins that when they talk to me, I'm virtually just taking notes for the stuff that they say. And then I just repeat it to Gianna because it's hilarious to me.
I think you're out there capping.
I'm capping, bro. Capping, no cap.
My
No cap.
6-year-old told me that. He came up to me. I was messing with him one day, and he screamed, "You're a capper!" at me, and I go, "What does that mean?" And then my niece hits me up with that I'm a capper or whatever. I have no idea what they're talking about until like a week and a half later. But
listen, you know what's really good? You know what is a parent's best friend? TikTok. Get on there. You're gonna know. I know everybody's worried about China stealing your information. So luckily for me, I don't have anything to hide, so it doesn't bother me. That's what I do. I look there for the trends. Boy, let me tell you, you get all the songs. You start singing the songs that's on their iPads or their their iPhones. It's a beautiful thing, and then you start dancing. That's when you really get them.
I will give it to you, Sammy. You've done some good ones on Facebook.
It's over.
Yeah.
I don't really follow trends. I just kind of follow the TMZ sports and stuff like that. The only trend I've been following lately is Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, that WAP video. Oh my God. I felt like I was going to get arrested when I was at work for watching the video, man. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, does this go against like an ethics code? Like, am I about to get fired for like NSFW things at work? Really, it's not, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, God damn.
Yep.
Jesus.
I got it. I don't even, I think is it Cardi B? Is that who you said?
Oh, listen, it's 5
Cardi?
minutes. It's 5 minutes of Cardi B and Megan the Trash Stallion just talking about their totin for 5 minutes straight.
Didn't she get shot in the foot by
that's all they do is talk about their toto for 5 minutes straight. I don't care if she got shot. I'm not giving her no love, her or Bacardi.
Well,
neither one of them.
Funny. It's funny because Tory Lanez didn't give her any love either, and he sang a song called "Love." That was a banger for a minute there.
I don't even
So
know
now
what
I'm
you guys are
still
talking
high on
about.
food. I don't think Sammy does either. I'm just kind of rambling. I just want to feel
I know,
included.
I know who freaking Tory Lanez is. I just don't care. I don't care about those people. Like I said, it's 5 minutes of two ratchet chicks talking about their totos. That's
And
it.
Kylie Jenner walking.
And Kylie Jenner nobody has done less to make more in their entire life.
Oh, dude, she's got some
Oh
sweet
no.
makeup.
All right, let's get into the show a little bit. We got some good topics. Obviously, let's just run in right to the
What
part
an
we always
intro.
talk about, and it's getting a little bit shorter. But a little COVID-19 update. Let me click this button. Is it sharing already? Here, we'll make it official. Then let me slide this over. Come on down to the Price is Right. 576 confirmed cases in Ashtabula County with 46 deaths. Good news. I didn't know that. Only 883 cases that was yesterday. Not today, but yesterday, 883. And actually, I think I heard DeWine say just over 1,000 today. So definitely running better than what we have been in the past. Sorry about that, Tom. I forgot that covers your face up down there. But definitely what I know. Yeah, 3 weeks ago or whatever, we were 1,800, 2,000 cases a day. So, DeWine made a good statement today, and I listened to it on my way home, and like podcast-esque, and basically he said, what we do in the community is how it reflects in our schools coming up. A lot of schools coming up here are actually going to be going virtual. I do believe he said it was about 36% of schools in Ohio out of all the counties will be virtual. That includes, and I don't know if everyone probably knows this by now, I know Ashtabula Area City Schools is going virtual for a month, but that number is still including them. Anyone that's going virtual now, regardless of how long it lasts, is included in that. One school that's not, and it's going to be interesting because school does start in about 2 weeks, is St. John.
St. John.
So we'll see how that one goes. Very interesting. I do believe, I don't know about Geneva and Conneaut. I don't know if they're following suit with Ashtabula area. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. Do you guys know anything?
I haven't heard about Geneva or Conneaut either. And
Geneva,
for
Conneaut,
everybody who's watching tonight, if you guys have a relationship with Coach Rocco out there in Conneaut, we are actively trying to contact him to get him on the show because we'd love to see Conneaut's point of view on the show as well. So anybody who could help us with that, if you could just private message us. I am going to put this up. I do think we need to. We are a sports show, and it's been brought up by a couple different people, Andrew Keats and AJ Long, together both. The Columbus Blue Jackets are going against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are in their 5th overtime. This is playoff hockey.
What does that mean? I don't know anything about hockey.
So
Butchko, help us out, man. When you get some time, send us a link. Yeah,
Coach Butchko. Let's link up after the show then.
Yep.
So they're going into OT. This is a playoff game. So it's I don't know, AJ or Andrew Keats. I think hockey is the one that and we are good. We've got the information we need. We just got it.
Perfect.
Butchko coming clutch again.
In the clutch, man. Just
clutch. One thing he's not very clutch yet. I will let him know that the Lakeside Dragons hooked us up with T-shirts and gear.
What's up, Coach?
We haven't got anything yet, so not very clutch on that aspect, but it is what it is.
You or Cray?
I want a helmet.
I just need a damn T-shirt.
I would wear a helmet the entire show.
I will.
Tom might actually be Kanye West's son.
Sudden death.
So, guys watching, don't they lose a player for each overtime? Like, it goes down to 4-on-4, 3-on-3. I don't know if it goes down to 2-on-2 or not, but I feel like they lose a player each overtime. I'll tell you what, we don't cover hockey a lot on here, and it's because I love hockey. I'm just not super well versed in it. I'm a Blackhawks fan. I don't like the Blue Jackets. I never have liked the Blue Jackets. And at least they're not Pittsburgh. That's that's their most endearing quality. So not in the playoffs. So is that just a regular season thing then? That must be a regular season thing then. But I don't think they do a shootout though either. I think the shootout is just the shootout might be regular season too. Yeah, everybody watching, you're going to learn about a beautiful sport tonight because we got some diehards in here. I'm talking about, we brought up hockey one time. I got 6 comments. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you did. AJ, Ryan, Nick, Andrew, and they're still rolling in. Here they come again. The postseason is 5-on-5, so you have a winner.
And Andrew Katz commenting. This is crazy.
Yeah,
Beat my sack down. I love Chicago.
Yeah.
I've always liked that team.
Since the Mighty Ducks left, I can't watch it anymore. And I'm talking about the movie because that's about the most hockey I've ever watched. Just can't watch it.
Great movie.
You will never, ever in your life, listen to me, guys, when I tell you this. Listen to me, everybody watching this. You will never, ever in your life attend a better live sporting event than hockey. It doesn't matter if it's NHL or OHL. Nothing touches it. I went down to Youngstown and watched the Steelhounds play. And I got to meet Ray Boom Boom Mancini, and that place was rocking. And these are guys that are like, I don't know if this was the young kids that are like 14 and 15 years old, straight out of Finland and Russia, dropping gloves, fighting like grown men, or if these guys were like 50-year-old American and Canadians that because they just refuse to quit playing hockey. In hockey, I'm pretty sure you actually have to die to retire.
I could see that. I could see that. Oh, wow. The game started at 3:00 today? Good night.
That's 6 gosh dang hours.
Nobody is tougher than hockey players. It's not even close. There was a guy playing hockey that a skate cut his like carotid or his jugular. He went and got sewed up and was playing the next day.
Jesus Christ. Is that
real?
LeBron James had to get taken out of a game because he had cramps.
He hurt his ankle.
Insane amount of cardio. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
That's
all right. First big topic that I think is going to run most of the show. We all know about it. We've heard about it. Let's see here. Pop it up. Big Ten, Pac-12, Mountain West, and the MAC conferences, they all cancel fall football. So I did put cancels, but it's canceled just for this, the fall as of right now. But we have been, everything I'm hearing is basically they're looking towards the spring to see how it will work. See what, I don't know what the benefits versus the negatives are. That's a lot of football for guys. It's almost pretty much a full year of football.
Listen, this is not going to mean anything. This is not going to mean anything to either one of you guys, but I just peeked in because, like I said, I'm not a Blue Jackets fan, but I thought there's a guy named R. Nash on their roster, and I thought they got Rick Nash back, but his name is in fact Riley. So they didn't.
I think that's his son. That's the only player I know from hockey is Rick Nash because I thought it was Steve Nash's brother.
Rick Nash is still playing. There's no way his son is playing in the NHL already.
Tell that to Ken Griffey. Tell that to Julio Franco. Tell that to LeBron in 2 years.
Rick Nash is like 35 years old.
Man. Get out of Dodge.
Crazier shit's happened.
I thought we got Rick Nash back. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Nope, we got Riley.
There it is, confirmed per Andrew Katz. Rick Nash is in retirement. But those guys didn't Wayne Gretzky come out of retirement like 12 times? I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it would fit him. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. They don't pull that.
I have no idea.
In hockey, you either play or you get out of here, bud.
Right. I love the Canadian kickback there.
Yeah. You're either gonna come lace them up or you get out of my face, bud, or I'll feed you one.
Want one? It's not rocket appliances.
Oh, that reminds. Oh, that's another one. Anyways, but yeah. So the Big Ten, Pac-12, Mountain West, MAC all cancel fall season. So my question for you guys is going to be, how does that affect the rest of college football? Because there's quite a few conferences who have not bowed down, and they're running full steam ahead until otherwise. So when I mean, is there going to be a championship game? I mean, have they? I don't know. Have they announced like no championship, no nothing? What
So
do you guys think?
There's only 3 conferences right now, 3 of the majors that haven't come out and said anything yet. The ACC is expected to announce theirs tomorrow. So
Okay.
the ACC, they are expected to announce that they're going to not cancel, but rather push back the season.
Delay.
I have not heard anything about the Big 12. So anybody, all my Twitter watchers, which speaking of Twitter, 440 and Goal now has a Twitter. At 440 and Goal on Twitter is our new Twitter account. Please get over there. Give us some followers, and while you're at it, go check us out on YouTube too.
Give us a tweet.
But I think, you know what? That's what we should do. So we're gonna do a giveaway for Friday. Anybody who follows our Twitter page is going to be in the running. Is going to be in the running for what are we going to give away, guys? A bottle, a mug,
a goblet.
Sure.
A goblet. We could do a goblet. All right. So we're going to give you a drinking receptacle of some sort on Friday. All you have to do is go follow us on Twitter, and we'll do a live wheel of fame that day.
Wheel of death.
But what I was getting at is, so ACC is expected to announce that they're going to cancel their season tomorrow. The Big 12 are wrapping up their call. The league is going to continue to pursue playing this year. A schedule which is already prepared will be released near the future confirms that our rival. Okay, so the Big 12 looks like they're going to try and play, and the SEC is going to try and play. I'm pretty sure once the domino of the ACC falls, I think that's going to do it. The SEC, they might play because they're super hard-headed, and let's be honest, the southern states haven't followed the protocols as it is, and neither has Texas, which is pretty much the entire Big 12. The Big 12 is like Texas and 4 other teams. So,
who are they going to play?
Each other.
I mean, obviously, you're right. It's just going to be each other, and that's it. So I guess there's. How many total conferences are there in the big name conferences?
There's
what do you say,
Power
12,
5
13?
conferences. You got Power 5, and then I think you've got like 5 or 6 others. Yeah.
So let's just say a dozen, and right now it sounds like 7, I do believe, are out, and 5 are in. But what does that do towards if we play spring ball, February, March? That area. I mean, they've already played a season. Are they going to come and just hop in and play another season?
No,
that's going to be.
They're done. If they play, they're done. So, really, the SEC and the Big 12 are probably going to get bullied into not having a season.
Correct.
That's really what it'll come down to, and I'm not mad about it. They're going to push it back because. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure why they're doing it because they can afford the testing that's going to be required.
Oh, absolutely.
The MAC, I understand. The WAC, I understand. Actually, sometimes some of the schools, even in the Pac-12, I understand because I bet you if you look at the gate and the kind of profit that like a Washington State is bringing in, probably doesn't make it worth it. The Big Ten, I can't think of maybe Rutgers doesn't bring in the money to do it. But I know,
Big Ten, Sammy, we're not talking about the little brother. Come on, that's not
you know what I mean, like Rutgers, Maryland.
Good point, Nick.
The AAC.
Cincinnati.
So here's my question.
I think you meant to put the ACC.
So you have these big
AAC,
schools,
the All-American Conference.
Oh, are they?
Which used to be the Big East. They used to be the Big East, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So here's my question about the whole thing. So you got teams like Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State. Can those guys make an argument that they want to leave this conference right now and never look back and go to the ACC?
No, you know why? Because they have this beautiful thing called a contract. It's the same thing that's binding high schools, the local high schools, to play in the Chagrin Valley Conference right now. Is this little thing called a contract, and the fact that they could be what's considered in breach. This year, there's some extenuating, there are circumstances that they can't really control. So there might be some. But I will tell you this: there's zero chance the Big Ten is signing off on the on letting Ohio State go play somewhere else.
Would rather die.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You think that they're going to sign off and let the SEC pull in that money for the SEC network? Because let's be honest, it would pull in more with the way sports are going right now. It would pull in more money than the Super Bowl.
Oh, it would,
because everybody is watching that.
But
So-
these conferences that are playing, aren't they strictly playing in hopes for the TV money at this point? Because more than likely there's not going to be fans in the stands, right? I mean, why else would you play? Why else would you play if, whatever 6, 7 conferences are already backed out? What are they going to be, 2 national championship games? Are you going to have like the COVID? Are you going to have the COVID championship and then the actual championship? Or, I mean, I don't know. If all these conferences aren't playing until spring, then,
Yeah, there's zero chance, dude. There's no way. So I'll be honest with you. Now that the Big Ten's out, I think it's done. I think the Big Ten holds that much.
Yeah,
I think they swing that much weight. I think the SEC is going to get a big piece of humble pie. I think they're thinking, well, we got Alabama. We got Georgia, and we got them boy down to LSU. Well, Ohio State and Michigan State and Wisconsin said, yeah, we're not playing, and the whole world collectively is going to go like this. Oh, I guess that's football then. No football this year.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the South's like, what about us?
What about us, brother? Hey.
Hey, Nick does bring up a go. I'm sorry, Tom. Go. Yep.
So big athletes like Justin Fields and Journey Brown, Adrian Martinez, these guys in the Big Ten, can they make the case now that, hey, we're going to drop out of school and we're going to become free agents and go play in somewhere like the Canadian League, or someone's going to come around and make like a Big 3 type thing where these kids can go play 7-on-7 football and showcase their talent and give them an opportunity to show their skills? Are we going to see something like that?
Here's why we're not going to see that.
Snoop Dogg brings something up, because Snoop Dogg's a big football fan.
Here's why we're not going to see something like that, because you are one ACL, one ankle, one shoulder away from losing millions of dollars. So the only option that could happen there,
college too, though, you're still that
yeah,
way.
But yeah, it in college is going to be looked at differently than going to play some backyard football. So these guys right now, unless there's some kind of insurance plan, if you started a league like that, like say we decided we're going to start, the 4-4-0 and goal Basham Brothers League, and we want all the best college football. We're going to want all the best college football players in the country to play in our league, because you know what? COVID is a lie. Well,
COVID is a lie.
We would have to have this beautiful liability clause that even the Big Ten and college football can't figure out, but we're expected to figure that out. And then on top of that, these athletes are going to be told by the agents that they inevitably get, like, dude, you're going to need to go get insurance on your entire body because you're slated to be a mid-first round pick. So you need to get at least $4 million insurance on your arm or $4 million insurance on your legs. And most insurance guys are going to be like, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Well, if I recall right, if your team, all the players that are at the Big Ten this year. So one, I did see today 2 prospects that have committed to Ohio State have already backed out. I don't remember their names, but they've backed out of going there. But 2, this does not count as a year of eligibility for the NCAA because of the situation. They're letting that slide. From what I've read, I don't know if that's for sure, but that's what I've read. That these players that would be in their sophomore season this year or junior season this year, it does not count as a year of eligibility lost.
It does not.
So you're right. So there's kind of a few things that come out of that. One, honestly, these guys are going to be a year older going into the league when they do. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's a
But
year older in age, but not a year older in football.
correct, right? So I
You
don't
know
know
what
how
I mean?
that plays into it. And like, well, Nick just brought up a good point. You know what? I'm assuming Micah Parsons. I would assume he's a junior, or he would have been a senior this year. But the number one prospect already opted out and declared for the draft. So it's just going to be really. I mean,
Here's
this is
the
shaking a
thing.
lot of stuff up.
Here's the thing you got to ask yourself. Burning question, super duper important. So,
Why do I feel like you're lying?
listen, guys, no cap.
No cap. Ain't nobody capping on this show.
Since there's going to be a whole nother calendar year, but people aren't going to lose a year of eligibility, punt or grunt that somebody will finally beat Chris Winke's age as the oldest Heisman winner. Chris Winke was about 42 years old when he won a Heisman Trophy.
I don't know, man.
I gotta look this up. I remember this now.
I don't know.
Dude, Chris Winke and Jason White went to prom with 2 Golden Girls. It's a fact.
It is a fact. Jason White's knees were in the Revolutionary War.
Jason White married Betty White. That's why she got that name. It's truth.
Oh, gosh. So Chris Winke was...
These guys are still student athletes. So, I mean, you gotta just let it roll, you know? I just wanted to say student athlete.
Yeah.
So they thanks. The word is up that they just postponed the Boston and Carolina game because Columbus can't get it done. Because they can't get it done.
Yes, and thanks to...
By the way, I want to let all you guys know right now that are watching, the Blue Jackets is the stupidest name in hockey.
Why?
It's stupid. Oh, it's dumb. They look like a Wish.com Patriots team.
Wish.com Patriots team. I had to process that. That took a second to understand exactly what was coming out of your mouth.
They look it's like if you ask your grandma for a Patriots jersey and she's like, I found a nice one from a gentleman at the grocery store. He's selling them out of the back of his car. Look, it's the same colors, isn't it?
It's tremendous.
Oh gosh. Oh, but well, yeah. I mean, a lot of interesting things coming out of college football. It's going to be at least it's not racist like Chicago. Well,
yeah. Well, there's that. I lose that argument.
Oh boy.
Oh, he admitted to him being
Nick Billman is the king of cap.
King of Cab. Should they have been the Redcoats, clown? Is what Keith asked. or maybe the Canadians. Man, these hockey folks are just coming out of the woodwork.
Because you don't understand how truly awesome is. And I am sorry for everybody that I just said that, because the most bullshit name in all of hockey is the Red Wings, because they play in the dirtiest city in the worst state in the entire world.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm just saying. God created the world in 7 days. Detroit popped up on the 8th, so we know who's responsible for that.
Jesus Christ.
Not him either. It wasn't him. It was the other guy.
Stop.
You're absolutely terrible. All right.
No cap.
You guys got anything else? Yeah, no. You're capping, Sammy.
There's no cap here.
Right? I don't know. No cap here.
There is not an ounce of cap in my game. I've never capped in my life. You guys are cap dancers, is what you are.
Oh man.
I will say the best playoffs, honestly, in my opinion, is baseball. I only bring that up because of what Nick said.
No, it's not.
I love baseball playoffs. I really do. I love baseball playoffs. It's a whole different. LeBron said it best. What did he said? Playoff sweat's different than regular season sweat, and it's a whole different game. It's a whole different game when baseball playoffs are around compared to the regular season. So
I know there's a bunch of people who love baseball. I get it. I do. What the hell's the point of watching 162 of those things if the playoffs are going to be that long? Like, what is the point, man?
The pageantry. It's all about the pageantry, Sam.
We're still trying to finish the 1998 season. It's the longest freaking season of everybody. Like, it's ridiculous. There are guys that get their wife pregnant twice in one baseball season. How does that happen?
They're Mormon.
It's 18 months long. Like, I'm telling you, like, it drives me nuts. Baseball would be a lot better if they could just cut it down. Like, I've actually peeked in on a couple games, I've been interested in some Indians baseball right now because 60 is a nice little number. Nice little tight toy package.
Like a
Toy,
tiger.
like a toiga.
like a tiger.
Toy, like a toiga. It's a nice little tight season, you know. Even hockey is kind of long. The only difference is they're literally allowed to fight in hockey. It's two sports in one.
Dude,
There are
yes,
guys,
they
guys
are.
right now that are in the NHL that cannot skate. They don't even have skates on. They go out there, their only purpose is to fight. There are guys that are walking out on the ice in airwalks just to punch somebody in the face. That's a beautiful sport.
Yeah. Didn't they have two guys like that in the Mighty Ducks? The Bash Brothers?
They're called,
All they did was do
listen,
that?
they're called goons, man. They have guys that, like, you know, everybody talks about football, how you're not allowed to hit the quarterback, and baseball has all these stupid ass unwritten rules that nobody cares about. Like, you can't, you know, wear white pants after Sunday, or I don't know, whatever the crazy shit they make up. But in hockey, they're like, yeah, if you hit our guy, we're going to hit you. And that's how it goes. And they don't even hide the fact. Like, they come off the bench. They don't even go line up. They just they skate right up to him, punch him in the face. Love that. I'm telling you, you only got to go to one hockey game. That's all it takes. I went to one hockey game. The guy made a shot. He was from New London, the New London Knights, excuse me. He made a shot, came to the home bench with his hockey stick, and gave the shooter McGavin to everybody on the hockey. There was about 5 fights in that game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like, hockey's a beautiful sport.
I do like that. That's pretty cool.
Listen, you know what? 440 and goal, we're doing it. The tickets are like $14 and a gift certificate to KFC, so they're not very expensive. You can go see any hockey you want to. We're going to go to a hockey game, and Ryan's probably going to get kicked out.
I might. I can see that.
For what? Arrested for what? I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
our real live Randy March, right?
I thought this was America.
I could see that happening. Unfortunately, I really could. All right, let's get into, just so everyone knows that's watching. We got about 15 minutes or so before head coach of the Geneva Eagles, Chip Sorber, and defensive coordinator Coach Shimsky join us. So stay tuned. They are on deck. We'll have them coming up. But let's talk a little bit of baseball real quick, and then we'll go into business of the day and hopefully bring them on. But Plassic and Clevenger on a 4-day quarantine. So 92.3 The Fan basically.
Please back,
no,
brother.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't follow it that well. I'm guilty. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here.
It behooves you to follow it.
Listen, can you?
I'm not. Listen, you know what? I was honored with the name producer. I understand why you guys gave it to me. All I do is guide the show so it doesn't run off the tracks. That's all I do. I screw up 90% of the time the words that go into this banner that everyone sees. I screw up everything on the bottom. I don't care. It's a great time, and that's what I care about.
Right.
Capiche?
Just consider yourself lucky we don't cover hockey, because there are guys, I don't even know how to say their name because they're like Russian dudes. There's like 15 consonants, one vowel in the whole name.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I can't even copy and paste that the right way. Not happening, not follow very well, but that's a baseball. I'll tell you, because it's genuine. Genuinely, I don't even know half the guys that come to the plate. I just love watching playoff baseball. But I'll tell you what, the best to watch is Little League baseball when they have the World Series. It was very disappointing this year when they canceled it, but I do love the Little League World Series. It's one of my favorite events to watch. I don't even know how long it runs, but you're all right, Nick. I don't follow them that well. I truly don't. I follow the Browns more than anyone, and I probably suck at that.
Have you ever watched a college baseball game? Not busting your balls, literally asking you.
Yes.
College baseball? No, yes. Actually, I'm glad you said that.
That
I have watched
the most
it.
Annoying sound of all time.
What?
Shut your mouth.
Oh, it's terrible.
Shut your mouth. I'll leave right now.
What's the most annoying sound?
Tom, what's the most annoying sound? Bing! Yep. Bing! They use frigging aluminum bats. It's the worst.
Listen.
Why?
All I'm saying is, when I was up to bat, you never heard that ping, brother. You never heard it because I never got a goddamn hit. 37 plate appearances, 1 hit, and I didn't know what to do. I looked at the dugout and the coach was like, no, it was a hit. It was a legit hit over the shortstop. It blooped into the outfield, and I was like, oh my God, what? And Coach Nacero was like, go, fat ass, go. I was like, oh God. I was like, oh. And then I just ran, and I got thrown out. I had no business getting thrown out. None. But I made it happen.
But then
I just don't understand why.
You just hit the ball.
Yeah,
you were contact. 0 for 37. You made contact. Got it.
God damn it.
My thing is I don't understand why they still do that. Like, why is college playing with aluminum bats when every single other level of baseball plays with wooden bats? And for all of our baseball guys watching, and Tom obviously is a baseball guy, if you have an idea, let us know, because I don't understand it. Like, I tried to watch it.
It's a cost issue. That's really what it is. Because you have so many colleges, you have so many players on each team, because there is no DH, so the pitchers always hit. So if the wooden bat breaks, they have to mitigate that cost. Aluminum's much more durable, so that's why they did it. At least that's how they explained it to me when I asked, because I thought it was bullshit too.
It sounds like a trailer in a hailstorm. It's the worst.
It's bad.
I love the ding. I love it. I love it coming off that bat. 1, 2, you can't get wooden. Well, you probably could, but the MLB players play with just wooden bats with a bunch of pine tar on it. Collegiate baseball, you can color match your bat to your jersey. That's a fact. I've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah, but
that would be one reason why.
They play, but if I'm not mistaken, they play with wooden bats all the way down to single A, which is
sure,
which is right. Super.
Gold Coast League, Pacific League, Arizona League, it's all wooden, all of it.
Yeah, I don't understand the point of having an aluminum bat anymore. I mean, for once you've reached that level, Little League and stuff, I get it. These are kids you're trying, it's a whole different ball game. I know that one time I hit a baseball with a wooden bat, and I thought I broke my wrist. It's the worst. I don't understand still to this day how guys hit the ball every day, because I don't know if it was Dean Callender or Brendan Palm or which one of those guys was just throwing, and I used their bat and I hated it. I was like, I don't know how you still hit with this stupid ass thing, because I'm so used to the aluminum bat where like you can swing that thing and not destroy your hands. If you don't hit that thing flush with a wooden bat, it's like it vibrates your whole body. You feel like Goofy from a freaking cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Lord. All right, so real quick, back to, you guys want to hit that real quick?
That was the whole point.
Clevenger, yeah. No, we totally went. I don't know how wooden and aluminum bats. How that's a point, but these two decided to hop out and go out on a dinner date, I guess, with each other. It sounded like to me, but that is the whole entire reason why Clevenger, who was supposed to start the pitching, supposed to be the starting pitcher tonight, was not, and they are in a 4-day quarantine. So what's your guys' thoughts on these guys not following the rules and regulations that have put the Royals in trouble and the Miami Marlins in trouble.
Go ahead, Tom.
Well, I think the thing is, and I don't mean to sound like an asshole here, but these baseball players make tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think they lose sight after a while of the game itself. I think that these guys start to think, oh, well, I'm bigger than the game. I'm bigger than my team. It doesn't matter. I'm just going out. These rules don't apply to me because I'm like Clevenger. Other than me, you got Shane Bieber. We're the two guys on the team that are the best pitchers outside of Cookie, but he's recovering from leukemia, and God willing, he recovers completely. But the thing is, these guys, there exists a level of privilege, and their privilege tells them that they can go do whatever the hell they want because they are who they are. They lose sight of, it's not about the name on the back of the jersey, it's about the name right here. And when you do that, you can't tell me that you're not putting yourself above your team needs, because if it's a 162 game season, I might not be as pissed off, but I'm pretty pissed off. We only got 60 games. We're in third place right now in the American League Central. We're behind the goddamn White Sox right now, okay? And no, we're behind the goddamn Tigers right now, okay? We have no business being behind them. There has to be a level of pride that exists, man. Like, there is no way, shape, or form, to steal your phrase, Ryan, that we should be behind the Detroit Tigers. And it starts with Clevenger. It starts with Plessic. Guys who are supposed to be leaders in the locker room. Because for as much as we want to say Frankie's the leader, we know Frankie's gone. So these guys need to step up and be the leader, okay? Clevenger needs to lead by example, okay? And he didn't. He failed, and he needs to make an apology. That's bullshit that he did that. He needs to make an apology, not just to his teammates, but to the fans, because we deserve better. He deserves better for himself.
Well, Francisco Lindor actually was quoted today just talking about the risks and stuff that, it's not just about themselves. They're putting their families at risk. They are putting guys like Cookie Carrasco, like you said, at risk. And this isn't from some schlub. This is from Francisco Lindor, inarguably the best player on the team. So, it's bound to happen in any tight, disciplined area. You're going to have people who are going to break the rules. So the idea is, you come down, swift on them so it doesn't happen again.
Absolutely.
I think it was disrespectful to the players who are following the guidelines, and I think it was irresponsible from both of them. I know I'm a sheep for everybody watching, because God forbid you follow a health guideline, makes you dumb. But that's where I stand on that. I'm tired of arguing with people.
I meant to say, have you guys? I was listening to 92.3 The Fan today, and they were talking about the Toronto Blue Jays. Have you guys heard of their situation?
No.
What do you mean, the fact that they're not playing in Toronto? Or
they're not? No. So while I think they're in Pittsburgh, right? No, they're in Buffalo. I'm sorry, right?
They're in Buffalo.
Wherever they're
Buffalo.
at. They're housed up in a hotel room. So even though, since they're from Canada, their restrictions are they literally aren't allowed to leave the hotel room after a game. They go to the ballpark, play the game, come back to the hotel, get food, and the food is either delivered and they pick it up down there, or they eat whatever is available at the hotel, however that one works out. They're not allowed to congregate at all down in the lobby. They get their food, they go back up to the room. They're not allowed to congregate in one room, anything like that. Same thing happens with their away game. So if the Toronto Blue Jays can withstand 60 days of literally the only time they're outside is when they're on the baseball field, these guys should be able to handle it for a couple, because when the Indians are off for, say, a day, they're allowed to go home. If they have a house in, whatever, Lakewood or the west side of Cleveland and they're home, they're allowed to go home and hang out in the backyard. These guys are away from their family. So
for the money they're getting paid, they should do whatever the hell they're supposed to do. Because I would sit in a hotel room for 60 days for half of what they're making, for a quarter of what they're making. So, it's the stupidest thing I've ever. You are getting paid to play a game. It's a game you get to play.
And
Like,
Ryan,
you
bring
get
up
to be
a
in
real-
gym class every day for the rest of your
Yeah.
life, and you get to be paid for it. You won, dude. Just listen.
The real interesting point you bring up, Ryan, is the Toronto Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays have arguably one of the most exciting young teams in the MLB. They're probably the youngest team in the MLB, stacked with star power, potential star power coming up. Vlad Guerrero Jr., who is arguably going to be the face of the league along with Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, and these guys in the next 3 years. Okay. Bo Bichette, an upcoming prospect. You got just a plethora of young talent who their heads can be this big, but they're listening. They're doing what they're told. They have every reason to not do it because they can feel invincible. You know what I mean? I'm Vlad Guerrero Jr. It don't matter to me. You know what I mean? I'm in Buffalo. I'm in New York, bro. I'm going to go live my life up. But he isn't. So you've got Mike Clevenger, who's all about peace, love, all this stuff. Like, he is Sunshine from Remember the Titans. That's literally who he is. He's just disregarding this stuff. I mean, why, like you said, why can the Toronto Blue Jays do it and the Indians can't? And Marlon brings up a good point. Trout ain't out there violating, though. And Marlon, to your point, Mike Trout realizes that it's not about the name back here. It's about the name right here. It's about Anaheim or Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, whatever the hell they're called these days. Mike Trout is a consummate professional. And what the hell are you going to do in Buffalo? You got casinos, brother. You got casinos all around you.
Hey, ask the Royals about casinos. Ask the Royals about casinos. That's why they're in the predicament that they're in now. The Marlins went to a strip club.
Listen,
yeah, how'd that go?
Need I say
more? Team owner, you listen to Patty Cake, okay?
Yeah.
When Patty Cake owns your team, you listen.
All right. Let's take a break. Let's get business day out here, man. Let's get the Eagles on. I'm pumped about it. They're sitting in the backstage there waiting. I see Chip. He's just staring at me, which I'm assuming he is. I don't know if he is. It looks good. But anyways, business of the day. I'm going to let Tom take over from here. Let me take that banner off real quick. And let me bring it up. Go ahead, Tom. Do your thing. I thought I got the banner off. Go ahead.
Building Technicians Corporation, business of the day today from Geneva. Matt Pete is a owner of the company. Great guy. Matt Pete, one of the stand-up individuals that I've met from Geneva, has a son who is going to play college football right now in Pennsylvania, a rival of my alma mater. I won't say the name of his college just out of respect for my alma mater. But Building Technicians, man, they're roofing contractors. They've been doing it for a long time. Quality work. Very honest, very forthcoming with what they do. They give a great quote, estimate, everything that you need. Top of the line technology to get up there and really do estimates on that roof. Really give you the tools that you need to have your home or your business succeed structurally. And in a time where there's a lot of uncertainty, the one thing we need to be able to rely on is each other. And I think the Building Technicians, the people they employ up to ownership, does a great job of that transparency and being able to give you the best for what you're paying for. So shout out to Matt Pete, shout out to the company itself. We're very fortunate to have these men in our community doing a great job. So you need something, hit up Building Technicians Corporation. And we're going to go to break now. Get them coaches on.
Phone number scrolling there on the bottom. They're over off Clay Street in Geneva per Google, so hopefully I have that one right. Also, their phone number is 440-466-1651. All right, guys, we'll see you here in about 4 minutes, and right then and there is when we will have the head coach, Chip Sorber, defensive coordinator, Don Shimsky of the Geneva Eagles on with us. Talk to you guys here in a couple minutes.
Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and go. That other getting old. We got Samurai and Tom. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spending with Samurai and Tom. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
The Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.
And welcome back to the second half of episode 38. Special guests coming up here in a moment. Well, you know what? Let's just get it going. Let's get it popping. Very excited.
The real reason you guys are all tuning in tonight.
Right. Yeah, everyone knows the first half of the show no one cared about. Let's just be honest here. But so let's get in. First, let me introduce Chip Sorber, head coach of the Geneva Eagles, and defensive coordinator Don Shimsky. Hey guys, how we doing today?
Good. How are you guys? Great to be on the show.
I'm good.
Awesome.
Good, gotcha. You had me
Geneva
a little nervous, Coach Chip. Yeah, you had me a little nervous. I was like, you didn't show up. Oh boy, here we go.
I took a nap and here I am ready to rock.
Hey, Coach Shimsky called that. He called that right on the money.
He's always taking care of it.
We'll take it. So, let's just get into it a little bit. Coach Sorber, what I want you to do, if you can, just get a little background about yourself. Where you came from, why you do what you do. And then after that, talk a little bit about your staff. Let us know who's on your staff, what they do, and, why you supposedly love them.
Okay. Well, listen, I guess I'll start where I graduated high school. I graduated from Painesville, Riverside, in 1984. And then after I graduated high school, I went in the U.S. Navy. I spent 4 years in the United States Navy. And after I got out of the Navy, I went to Kent State University on the GI Bill. And I walked on the football team, played 2 years at Kent State. And then I got fortunate enough in 1991 to be asked to coach football at Chardon by Coach Bob Doyle. And Coach Bob Francis, really, both of those guys are the guys that got me into football. And when I got the opportunity, I started coaching at Chardon Middle School, worked up through the high school ranks. Spent a little bit of time after Chardon. I got my first teaching job at Madison High School, and therefore I ended up coaching varsity football at Madison High School. I was the offensive coordinator at Madison High School. Fortunate enough, in 1996, I was offered the head football coaching job at Middlefield Cardinal. I was a very young head coach, 30 years old at that time, 29 or 30, can't remember. But I took that job and learned a lot on the ropes. That was a time period when Cardinal was playing Aurora, Chagrin Falls, Perry, West Geauga, Orange. So it was a pretty rough schedule back in those days. The CVC was just one division. Then I ended up leaving Cardinal. I ended up coming to Geneva in 2000, where I ended up coaching on the varsity staff there for 4 years. Ended up going back to Chardon in 2004, coached back at Chardon from 2004 to 2009, where I was offensive and defensive coordinator during that time and quarterbacks coach all those years. And then I came back to Geneva again from 2010 to 2012. Coached 3 years of middle school football, ended up going back to Chardon for another 2 years, 2013, 2014 as the offensive coordinator under Mitch Hewitt, who I coached at Chardon, was fortunate enough to coach Mitch at Chardon. And then in 2015, I ended up coming back to Geneva, accepting the head football coaching position. I've been teaching at Geneva since 2000. This is my 27th year teaching and my 29th year of coaching. And I've truly been blessed since 2015 to assemble a really great staff of guys. Some of them had already been on staff. But we'll start with Coach Shimsky, who's here tonight on the show. I got Coach Shimsky wasn't on staff my first year. I tried to get him my first year, but he had some things he was doing. And, I think he was just taking a break from football a little bit. But we were fortunate enough to get him back in 2016, which truly blessed. Great coach, great family man, works hard, dots his I's and crosses his T. And then secondly, my offensive coordinator, Matt Pete, has been with me since 2015. And Matt volunteers for us. So he's a real bonus. He gets paid nothing to do what he does. Donates a lot of time, a lot of money into our program. He just really gets it done for us. And then, of course, your guys' ex-coach, Jay Corlew.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the mullet.
The mullet.
He's really, he's the wise one. How fortunate as I am to be a head football coach, but to have another high-quality head football coach on your staff. He's just been down the road before, and you're just really lucky to have that kind of point of view. A guy who reminds you, hey, on this date we don't have school, you shouldn't have lifting. It's that kind of thing. He always gets covered for me. So really blessed with him. We have a tremendous offensive line coach, in John Maribel. Really does a great job for us. He's our offensive defensive line coach. He also teaches with us at Geneva, as does Jay Corlew, teaches in the district as well. But John Maribel's really done a nice job creating a really nice culture with our offensive and defensive linemen. And he's just, as Jay is, as Don is, as John is, they're great family men. As Matt is, they're all family guys. They're vested in the community. They have kids in the school district. So they're very, very vested. And then I have two really great freshman coaches that are, working with our freshmen every day, Josh Williams and Chris Clemens. So we're really blessed. I know I'm blessed. Our kids are blessed to be around such high-quality guys. So I'm lucky we've been intact all these years now. As Coach Corlew said, it's a testament that we all buy into the same creed, and no doubt about it. And, we're trying. I think we got Geneva back on the map a little bit.
Hey, 8-2 last year. I mean,
I would say
8-2. Yeah,
I would say you're more than. Yeah, I'd say you're more than on the map. I'd say you guys are starting to take over some territory.
No, maybe a bit, man. We don't want to lose any ground and have to retake it again. But yeah, we had a good year last year. Actually, the last couple years have been pretty solid for us.
How about you, Coach Shimsky? How about how has your coaching career come to this point?
Well, I graduated from Geneva High School. I'm a Geneva guy through and through. I graduated in 2000. I played on some really good teams that we had back in the mid to late 90s. I ended up going to Hiram College for a year and then played some football there, but just finished up at Kent State and was lucky enough in 2004 when I first got out. That was when Tony Hassett was the head coach at Geneva, and I just kind of went up and like, hey, you need a coach? And he let me hang around for a couple of years. So I coached freshman football for a couple of years, and then in 2006, I went up to be a varsity coach, and I've just been with Geneva ever since. I did take a couple of years off, as Chip kind of alluded to. I took 2 years off, and then came right back to it. So this will be my 17th year teaching, and I've been coaching for 15 years. So, but I'm a Geneva guy. This is, where I graduated from. And I kind of helped link up a lot of what had gone on in the past with Geneva football with like dates and stuff. I remember I got a pretty good memory about those types of things. And, it's just that this is my home. This is where I've always been, and where I intend to stay.
So you guys, we've got the privilege of getting out there, at a safe distance and watching kind of how you guys run your day to day a little bit, getting to see, these giant monsters you guys call football players
Yeah.
out there. Boy, I'm telling you, this team. That's one thing. Everybody watching, all you coaches, I'm not giving away secrets here. They got some hogs out there. So
Yeah, they do. They do.
but one of the things you guys do is, with Coach Sorber coming from Chardon, a very, kind of a great football program, is you guys run this wing tee. And you guys run that wing tee to a T. I mean, you run like a well-oiled machine. I see, those kids they don't have to think. They can just run that thing, bing, 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 bing. So was that something this is a question, I guess, directly for you, Coach Sorber. When you first come into Geneva, is that something that takes time to develop, or is that something you developed out of necessity?
Always part of the plan was to start in a youth program, and I think that's where we've had a unique advantage. Is that I've had Coach Shimsky, who's coached in our youth programs, has a son currently in our youth program. His oldest son had played through the years down there. Coach Pete's kids have all come up and he was the president of our youth league. Chris Clemens, Josh Williams. So, I mean, we have varsity level coaches that had football teams down in that youth league. And it was by design that we just replicated what I had seen going on in Chardon, is that we needed to get those kids at that youth program, and we had to reach out to those coaches and establish a relationship and ensure that we would run a youth camp to give the kids the tools to run the wing tee. And we certainly were able to get that done. Very fortunate with my coaches that I've had the link to those kids down there. And so we've been very successful. If you went down and watched our youth league play, all those teams, I mean, they look just like us. Coach Pete, Coach Jimsky, you guys have invested a lot of time, Coach Clemens and Williams as well. But, we have a team generally in the Super Bowl, every year. Our youth league last year won the state championship. So, we kind of had it going on. Our numbers in the youth program are good. So we're really pleased with what our youth program is. But that was by design. We knew we weren't going to get instant success here. We were laying the foundation to the house, and we were going to take the time to do it right. And it started with that. Started with trying to get a good middle school program, and that's kind of where we started here. Now these kids are coming up through, and they know what the terminology is. They know what the expectations are. They know what the drills are. So it's been a nice thing offensively. And with Coach Shimsky, he's been able to, through our youth camps and stuff, implement our core defensive, philosophies and drill work and things like that. So our youth program has been strong. And that is by design, for sure, is that we needed that to fall in line, for sure.
How long?
Think that's huge.
Yeah, I was going to say, how long have you guys been where it's been running a playbook similar, if not the same, to your guys through that youth league?
Since day one, since 2015. I took the job in February of 2015. And we were having the youth coaches meetings in my classroom on Friday evenings in April, installing, teaching, and showing video and trying to give the tools and teaching them how to do things. And, we've been very fortunate over the last several years is that, when you have your defensive coordinator and your offensive coordinator, down in that league coaching teams, my goodness, what more could you ask for? Now, we may be losing that to a certain extent, so it's going to need some, it's going to need some attention again, but it's been good for us, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to watch that. There's a couple programs around us that they're having a pretty big issue, but I mean, I can't imagine that it doesn't change for them soon, just seeing the success that you guys have had with that. I love seeing that. That's something me, Sammy, and Tom have talked about for years now. The importance of bringing up, the kids when they walk into 7th, 8th grade, they already know what they're doing, and then as freshmen, they already know what's going on. So
yeah, you really need.
It's wonderful to hear that.
Yeah, you really need coaches and parents that are coaches in the league that are not selfish, that aren't egomaniacs, that are willing to say, I want my kid when he goes into middle school to know what this means, to know how they're going to do it. You're going to give your kid the advantage. And that's what Madison's head coach is doing right now. I mean, it's critical work for him right now. I'm friends with Mike Gilligan. And that was step one for him as well. You know, we talk about those things, but yeah, he's getting his hooks into his youth program, and he knows it's going to be for the long haul. But that's how it's got to be.
Yeah, I guess you could say building a football program is like building a house. The youth is the foundation.
I knew you guys would enjoy that.
He couldn't. He took the words out of my mouth. You started building a house, and I almost stopped you just to let you know who you sounded like. But I just kind of let it ride. You know what I mean? Oh gosh, that guy. So I went. One day I'm going to get him on here. And I might literally have to go to his house and sit there 6 feet away from him on the porch or something, whatever he wants to do, just to get him on here. I'll do it. One day we will.
That's what you're going to have to do, because you're going to have to.
And it might have to be like a secret conversation. I'll have to have like a GoPro in a corner streaming live, so he has no idea what's going on.
Right. You just have a casual conversation.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
So, like we talked about the wing tee offense here, Chip, and the hallmark of the wing tee, you're featuring your quarterback, your fullback, your halfback, and generally like terminology like a wing back essentially. And you're preparing for all those different backs, like defenses are preparing for all those different backs going into each different week. But I think a big advantage of a football team that runs a wing tee is that the defense definitely benefits from it as well. So Coach Don, if you could kind of talk about your defense and how, you benefit from going against a wing tee every week in practice, how that correlates going into different teams and such. Could you kind of elaborate on that, what you do to prepare defensively throughout the week? I mean,
well, I always try to break down opponents just to see, their favorite couple of runs, favorite kind of passes, and then game plan for, what coverages and fronts are going to work best on that. And, our kids, I think what helps us the most is, from my perspective, what I always try to do when I'm looking at a team, I want to stop the run. And we just have, kids who were natural run blockers because that's what we're going to do 99% of the time. We have a ton of different scout team cards that these kids are going to look at to emulate other teams' offenses so we can adjust to their formations, because we're one of the few teams that are going to come out and try to run those type of wing tee sets. Any of that kind of motion. I mean, Kirtland did a little bit last year. They've got some of those principles. Orange comes out and like what I would call a wing set with a hat or a tight end and a halfback to one side. But really, since we don't play a team like Wycliffe, we don't really see that. But, like last year early on, one of our first scrimmages, we went up against what turned out to be a very good Chardon team. And we did very, very well in that scrimmage. So I think that for us, the mentality of the fact that we know how to run the ball and to steal a phrase from Chip, we think that breeds toughness, and that really is ingrained in our kids. So that helps us on that side of the ball as well. That might be why we struggle with giving up a couple passes here and there. But typically against the run, we're usually pretty stout. We're usually pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because one of the things I was going to ask is, a lot of what kids are going to get, the best game speed are when they're going against number one offense. You guys do a great job of hyping up your scout team and telling these kids, banging into their head how important their job is out there, which is one of the nice things I saw is everybody is trying their butt off. There's nobody out there hot dogging it. And if they are, Matt Pete is on them before they can put that foot on the ground. Loved it. I loved it. But
just a little bit, not much. Real
But,
easy.
I mean, I would imagine that your linebackers and your interior linemen are pretty well prepared for anything they're coming out there. Do you find yourself having to spend a little bit more time with your defensive backs just because practice versus game speed are two different ball games, it's hard to prepare for a team that is going to spread sideline to sideline 5 wide.
Right. Well, we'll split defensively into several different sessions and different group sessions throughout. So we'll devote time to interior run, and while we're doing that, our defensive backs are getting one-on-one work, best on best. We'll take our best and fastest guys and say, all right, man-to-man coverage. The offensive guy is going to run a route. Let's try to beat him, and then we'll go into another session where we put the best guys that we can up against the best defense we can, and try to simulate what the favorite, the frequent, the big plays that the other team's going to have. And because in my experience, a lot of it, success defensively, is the kids just recognizing what to expect out of what formations that they're going to see. So that's all part of the scout process, breaking down film and coming up with a game plan. And we try to simulate that as best we can.
Yeah, because I think Coach Sorber actually said, it's a tough gig for defensive coordinators today, because 15 years ago, you were thought as a pass heavy team if you passed it 5 times in the game. And now, if you pass it anything under 20 times a game, you're a run team considered. So you guys are getting your money's worth.
What if you only throw it 4 times a game? What's that make you?
That makes you 8-2.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, good call.
8-2. Yeah, it does.
That's a good one.
No, it's I think just like you guys, I'm sure have to bust butt to get ready for the pass. I can only imagine the gray hairs that are going through those coaches are like, we got to get ready for this damn wing tee that we're only going to see once this year.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I remember the kids talking about, because they knew. It amazes me how well kids know kids on the other team when they live an hour away. But some of the kids from Orange last year, our guys just knew them really well. I think it was maybe a basketball connection from AAU. But those guys from Orange, they were like shaking their head like, man, you guys just won't pass it. You run right at us. Those are some of the comments that were being made. Like, man, you guys just ran right at us. You didn't try to run around us. You ran right at us. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of what we do. And believe you me, as a defensive coordinator, I appreciate the 12, 14 play drives that take 6 minutes off the clock. So, I love that kind of stuff.
Are there any do you see any disadvantages with being so run heavy? Because I know, like, typically a lot of people, what people worry about with wing tees, power eyes, stuff like that, where you're going to beat their face in, is time becomes an issue. Like, you guys got to get out there and get on them, because catch up isn't an option sometimes. Is there anything that you guys kind of think about with that?
Well, yeah, I mean, we understand that by nature we aren't going to come from behind very often. And we are obviously ball control, like Coach Shimsky said. We are ball control, and we have to finish drives. That's what our constant struggle is to run 15 plays really well right in a row, without any penalties, or just some, or one. But it does. It hurts Coach Shimsky, because honestly, we have guys who can kind of throw the ball, but we don't throw it a lot. And I'm watching our scout offense today, and we didn't have particularly a strong arm quarterback in there slinging it all over against our defensive backs, necessarily preparing them for the varsity type quarterback they might see. That's because our starting quarterback is playing defense right now, so he's on that defense, or else he would be playing the scout quarterback, giving us a little bit better look. So I'm sure we're going to have to try to figure something out, during team sessions with our defense, try to give them a better look in the passing game. Sure.
Oh, absolutely. So, Coach, kind of to switch gears a little bit here. Awesome insight, by the way. Definitely appreciate you guys coming on. For everyone joining us just now, we've got head coach Chip Sorber of the Geneva Eagles and his defensive coordinator, Coach Don Shimsky. So again, big ups. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Eagles Nation.
Eagles Nation. It feels so weird to say that too, because you guys know we're Lakeside guys.
But here's the thing, guys, and I don't know if I've told you this or not, but my mother graduated from Geneva, she is. Yeah. So I've heard even going through high school, she busted my chops when we went against Geneva. And my cousin, Jeremy Perry played at Geneva, and we were in the same grade. So it was a family affair. And I know it broke my mother's heart to not have that red and white Letterman's jacket. But I told her then, we can't be talking if that's what you're doing.
Well, we'll call you honorary Eagles right now.
There we go.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
35 more minutes and I'm done. I got it right here, man. I can't help it.
Go ahead,
green
Tom.
gold.
So Coach, the one thing that's been on 441 Goals collective mind here is, you guys not only have the job of coaching up these young men and leading them on the football field, but right now you're leading them through a lot of uncertainty. This COVID time is definitely unprecedented. And every day, Governor DeWine or Mr. Husted, everyone's coming out, they're chopping it up, saying a bunch of different stuff. Unfortunately, another team that wears red isn't going to be playing this fall, and it breaks my heart, the Ohio State Buckeyes. So I'm kind of hurt right now, but I'm glad I'm going to see you guys playing. So my question is, how are you guys adapting to a 6-game schedule? How are you guys keeping your seniors on track? Hey, you guys aren't having a full season like the guys in the past used to, Blake Pete and Sam Davis. You're not getting that opportunity. So how are you helping them to realize the potential of the season, and what are you guys doing, and just what are your thoughts on a 6-game season?
Well, it's going to be more than a 6-game season. You're going to end up being able to play in the playoffs and get some extra games, and at the end. So
very true.
I really don't think our kids are thinking that far down the road. I think our kids are, really kind of, as the way we operate is, they're really concerned about game one. I don't think they're really concerned a whole lot past that. I don't know. Coach Shimsky may feel different or the same, but our guys are the certainty you talk about is football. The one thing they do have is the certainty of coming to football, and that they're going to work hard, they're going to bust it, and we're going to build something here. Absolutely. And so that's the certainty that they have. But I think our guys aren't thinking anything more than, we don't know what our schedule is. Might know tomorrow. But I think they know they're going to get a week 1 game on August 28th, and that's where they're at.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't really see any difference in how our practices have been, how they've been going and how the kids have been, how the morality's been. I don't think that there's really been much of a difference whatsoever from one year to the other. These guys are still upbeat. They're coming out. They're not lethargic. They're working hard. And you wouldn't even, it's hard to say, you can't tell, but judging by just the way that their body language is and their demeanor, it's been very positive. So they're taking everything in stride.
Yeah, our kids are great kids. They, as you come and you watch them practice, they grind. They know how to grind. They know how to work. It's a fast-paced practice, and they grind, and so they like it, and so we got to keep it going. Got to keep it going.
So with the 6-game 6-game schedule this year, one of the things we've talked about with every single coach, and we discussed it with you guys a little bit yesterday too, is the looming issue of a county league. We're in a situation right now where still to this day we are a yellow county amongst red counties surrounding us. So with all the extra restrictions and people are being over, careful and stuff like that, what are your guys' thoughts on a county league, particularly in a year where it doesn't matter what you do. Game 7's a playoff game.
Well, I mean, to be politically correct, and obviously we would like to honor our conference games.
Mm-hmm.
The conflict comes in is where by our county health director and our superintendent, and I may possibly the other superintendents in the other county schools, are not allowing us to play any team from a red county or bring any team from a red county to Geneva. So that eliminates a couple games in our conference right now. So I'm sure the CVC has some kind of plan to throw something together, to whether they merge divisions together, try to maybe make a Cuyahoga division and then a non-Cuyahoga. I don't know, but I think allegiances to the conferences are going to be upheld to the most part. But for any reason, if it becomes too hard, the practicality of a county league and a 6-game, it's intriguing and it's so very practical, but there's so many layers to, being in a conference. There's academic things, there's educational things, there's a whole lot of other things that go into being in a conference. And we have contracts with these people. So, you have to honor those, but it is unusual times. If for some reason we can't piece together a solid schedule of what our normal conference play would be, then I would love to fill those games with all county schools. And like I told somebody before, maybe this will be a catalyst to try to get Jefferson, and Conneaut into the CVC. I mean, I know I want that. I know a lot of other people. I believe those schools want that as well. So whatever happens, I think the county league is a great alternative. It just fits. The pieces just fit so nicely in the environment we're in right now. It's just I don't know, but like all I want to do is play somebody.
Speaking of playing somebody, we asked every coach this as well. Every game matters. In a 6-game schedule, every game really matters. But some games get 2 circles instead of 1. You guys want to keep one game right now this year. What game is that?
To me, right now, I mean, I want the Madison game probably for some reason. I mean, that is, now listen, we haven't been playing Lakeside or Edgewood or any of these teams, so we don't have a natural rivalry with them because we haven't played them. But Madison is our backyard brawl, and it is a brawl. And I mean, if you watch that game, it is a slugfest of, very similar kind of kids and coaches. So I would say that's the game, but I know I'm not going to get it. Maybe after all the playoff stuff is over, we get eliminated and Madison has a game left and we have a game left and everything's going smooth. We can get a game after the playoff scenario. So we've talked about that already.
You call the coach and you say, my boys will be on the 50-yard line. You bring yours.
Absolutely. And he'd be all about that. Absolutely. That's kind of the fun part about some of this is that you might be able to do some of that. And I think Coach Shimsky probably would agree with the practicality of the league, but it's a tough sell for some people.
How about you, Coach, as a defensive coordinator? What game makes it for a tough week?
Well, I mean, make for a tough week. I mean, they all make for a tough week because everybody's unique in their own way. I mean, nobody runs anything the exact same way every week, week in, week out. But to piggyback on what Chip said, I'd love to play Madison because to us that was always a rivalry in high school. And when you look at the all-time numbers, like we were really close in like the 90s, and then those guys really started to get in the better of us for getting pounded for 10, 15 years. And right now we've gotten to a point where we feel like every time we go into a game with them the last 4 years, it's been like a touchdown game. So I love to play Madison. I think that's definitely a game that gets a double circle for me. But I tried. Every team presents its own unique problem for me. But Madison's tough, Perry's tough, especially with all the different skill those guys have had. You can put together a game plan that you think's airtight, and then it just takes one slip of one of those great athletes they have and blows that whole plan to bits. So, but hopefully we can get that Madison game this year for sure.
I was gonna say, speaking of the 6-game schedule, have you guys got any release on exactly who you're playing yet?
No, I think that I know the ADs and the principals meet tomorrow. I think they're going to hash it out. I have no idea. I'm assuming it's going to be your conference schedule, even for the other schools if they can make it work. But you throw in the problem that we're not allowed to play certain schools. Who knows? That might blow the whole thing up. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if that blows it all up, then if we're not allowed to play those schools, then why don't we just play ourselves? So I'm thinking tomorrow we'll know. I've heard rumor that you're going to start off with your week 4 game, who that would ever be. That's orange for us, and we're not allowed to play orange. Right, Don, isn't orange game 4 for us?
Yeah.
That's first conference game, yeah. And
yeah.
We can't play them. They're a red county. So I don't know what we're going to do.
Right. I was going to go into – go ahead, Sam.
I was just we were going to go into the players, and that's what I was going to talk about.
Yep. That's where I was headed to. So go right ahead.
So, one of the things you talked about is with these other teams, keeping such a tight, defensive game, and then one of these players gets out on you. We through getting to check you guys out this year, we got a chance to check out some players of your guys. So who are some guys we should be watching out for this year? Because you got some guys.
Yeah, we do. We have some guys. I think we have some guys that nobody's heard of yet as well. I think that's going to be the key to our success. Is we are replacing a lot of new faces. But there's a couple that have been mainstays over the last couple of years, and obviously you got to start with our fullback and our defensive end, Charlie Taylor. He's a Division I type player, being looked at by Division I type players. He's a returning All-State player. He's a 6'3", 250-pound beast. I mean, he's an animal. He's a great kid. He doesn't say boo. He just gets it done. It's been I'm really glad he's on my team. I'm really glad. So he's one of them. Obviously, our returning quarterback, Ben Scabona. He's obviously your quarterback. No matter what, is always a vital part of your team. But Ben's also going to be playing defense for us. He's a 110% football guy. I mean, it's all football for him. He's been a great leader, great role model. And and he's a specimen too. He's 6'5", 220, 225. I mean, he looks like the Clemson quarterback, man. He looks just like him. And he thinks he does too. But and then we have Zane Francis coming back. He's a returning first team all conference, all county tight end, and it sometimes happens with some of our guys, like our tight ends and our fullbacks. They end up getting moved to the interior line, and Zane is a smart kid. He's going to be our inside linebacker. He's our Mike linebacker. We expect big things out of him over there, as well as playing offensive line and tight end for us. So he'll play both. You got to have him on the field. He's a pretty tough kid. And then we have Austin Messina, who's a senior lineman for us. He's probably our best offensive lineman at this point. He was the guy who got some serious playing time last year. So we're looking for that. And then we have and Brady Pete comes back on defense as a outside linebacker for us, and he'll end up playing also on offense at halfback. So everybody else is going to be a new name, a new face. They're not going to be young. I'm excited about some of our juniors that are going to be seeing the field. I'm excited about Wyatt Fuderick. He's a quarterback as well. He'll be playing safety. I'm excited about Clayton Queen, who's one of our halfbacks. He's also a safety and can play inside linebacker. Mike Amato, I'm excited about. He's also an outside linebacker. And Dylan Hamilton, who's a junior and a running back and an inside linebacker as well. So we have some guys, and we've gotten a few new guys out, like senior Cole Smith, who hasn't played in a couple years. We're really glad to have Cole back as a senior. He's a really good guy. We have a couple seniors that I'm looking to contribute, like Matt Krasinski, and we have a couple guys like that should be new faces, Brian Spencer, guys like this that you're not going to know, but we expect the same basic results and level of play out of these guys. So very few returners, a lot of new faces, but those are some of the guys I think you need to keep your eyes on a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if they put something in those hamburgers at Eddie's Grill, or if the Geneva Giants from Rosemary's Pizza's got steroids in them or what, but somehow Geneva always has some absolute monster running back. Going back to even when we played. I mean, this year you got Charlie Taylor, who's like machete out there. He's just giant. And then a couple years ago, you had the Marquez boy, who was an absolute monster. And even before that, you had Luis Zayas, and they're all from the same mold. Just a giant running back that, God forbid, they break the first set of tackles, because those defensive backs are going to have a tough day.
That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, we're lucky. We do have a little bit of skill, and we've had a hammer back there. Charlie's been running the ball for us. This will be year 3 for him, so he takes some punishment, but dishes it out too.
Coach, being over there on the defensive side, Coach Shimsky, is there anyone? Obviously, Coach named quite a few, but is there anyone that you would say is kind of like a little bit of a rising star, quote unquote? Maybe someone that you didn't really expect on the defensive side of the ball that's really kind of starting to show up a little bit.
There's all kinds of kids I can name, but one of the kids that I think's been a very nice surprise for us is Clayton Queen, because Clayton, he's a very, very smart kid, and we've got him repping in a whole bunch of different positions because he's just smart enough to handle it. I mean, he is repping in all kinds of different spots because, I'm trying to figure out where the best pieces of the puzzle are going to fit. And, some of those summer workouts, we had guys who were playing baseball, and we're like, well, we need to put, who do we put at safety? All right, well, we'll put Queen there. Who do we put an inside backer? Oh, well, let's put Queen there. And he's smart enough to pick it up. So,
and he's quarterback and running back too. So
right. I mean, he is our ultimate utility fielder. I mean, he's doing a great job. So I mean,
go ahead, Coach, sorry.
I mean, and then just to name a couple kids, as I was thinking in my head as Chip was naming guys, Gavin Udinas, he actually stepped in and played tight end for us in the Madison game last year. And he played a little bit of inside linebacker for us last year. He'll be one of our starting linebackers. Gage Baker, he'll be a senior, and it looks like he's going to be playing one of our corner spots. But then other than that, I mean, our defense is going to be, predicated on, hopefully being able to disrupt some people with some of the guys we already mentioned up front, like Charlie and Scabona and those guys.
One of the things you guys have a lot of is depth. You guys have depth. You guys have a lot of depth.
That's a lakeside boy, I'll tell you. He knows your schedule, but just in case.
One of the things you guys have a lot of is depth. And you guys are one of few schools around here that actually has a full freshman team. So are those guys do you find that maybe toward the end of the season, you're trying to get them some, probably not varsity time, but are they getting enough JV time where, you have a lot of depth, but you can never have too much?
Yeah, we try to limit the freshmen a little bit. We try to bring up maybe for a JV game, maybe 3 kids at a time. Maybe this group of 3 will come for a couple weeks, and then we'll get another group of 3 they'll come for another couple weeks or something like that. So we try to filter them through, but we're very mindful of the quarters that they play. But like today with our freshman team, we were able to have a scout defense against our offense, and I was able to take enough younger guys down to the freshmen and run a full 11-on-11 scrimmage for about 20 plays. And some of these guys that don't get a lot of reps, I was able to take them down there and get that done. So, yeah, I mean, and I think we have a little bit more depth this year than usual, which maybe it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but because we have more players that are kind of in here, as far as ability levels. So that creates a little bit of competition and therefore a little bit of depth, because maybe if we put the other player in, there's not much of a fall off here or there. So we're hoping our numbers are good. I mean, we have JV, varsity, freshmen. We have separate 7th and 8th grade teams as well. And I was down at the middle school today, and there's 25 in each group. So
now, before COVID decided that people weren't gonna, be able to travel and play, were you guys having trouble finding other freshman teams to play?
Yeah, we've always traditionally had a little bit of trouble. Last year was a little bit tougher than others because, we started last year for some reason we had to allow a lot of teams to add too many sophomores. So it really became like mostly sophomores playing our freshmen every week, when the kind of the deal was, okay, bring 3 or 4 sophomores, kind of lower end guys, but then they're bringing their running back, their JV running back and stuff. But yeah, I mean, some of our freshman team have played St. Ed's freshmen. They've played Akron Buchtel, Canfield, Mayfield. So, yeah, we're always out there. Usually Perry has a freshman team, typically most of the time. Chagrin Falls will try to have a freshman team. So, yeah, West G, they'll play 8 games for sure. We're going to make games, but they are kind of difficult. Sometimes they do have to travel a little bit.
So I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball because it has nothing to do with football at all. And I have to ask this because half of your damn kids, they all have a mullet. Every time I see them take their helmets off, they have a mullet. And is there like some ongoing trend there? Like, are they calling it the Coraloo or something? What's going on over there?
I'm glad you bring that up because I know
Long live the mullet.
today. There's another one today. So,
is there really?
Yeah, I'm just starting to catch on to this, man. But I saw another one today, so I don't know. We're gonna have to investigate that and find out what the root of this mullet. Maybe one of these guys that are, chatting in line on here will tell us what it's all about while we're on.
And I couldn't believe it, man. Couldn't believe it. The amount of kids.
Either. It's not just at Geneva.
No?
I think there might be a generational thing here because I'm looking around the county and I mean these guys are rocking mullets like it's the freshest cut they've ever had.
Don't forget, Coach Corlew got inducted into the Hall of Fame last year, and a lot of those kids probably saw him get inducted in the Hall of Fame with the mullet.
He's bringing it back, baby.
Waving in the wind, baby. It's a mix of like Corlew and Kid Rock. I can't decide who's got what going on.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It really is to me. I just, I don't know.
There we go.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. Hey, we talked. Hey, thanks for letting us know about Scabona's
Hey. We got to ask Bona where it went. He deleted the whole thing.
Poor kid, man.
Where are you at, Bona?
Look at
Stones. Where are you at?
Hey, Ben, you see the kid all the way to the left? The dude all the way to the left? He's the one that brought it up. Not us, brother.
No, hey, who are you going to believe? Come on now. The guy that finally cut his man bun off? Come on.
We appreciate any help we can get with monitoring our social media for sure, man. Everybody.
One of the things, you know what, though? All jokes aside, I do want to compliment you, Coach Shimsky, your whole staff, because we've been going around, we've been meeting these kids, we've got to, see different types of players, different types of teams, and your kids are very, very respectful, stand-up guys. I've never, whatever you guys say is going on is what they're doing. And, when we sat there, we got the picture and got to talk to them all, very, very well-mannered, stand-up kids. And that's really a direct reflection of you guys, because these kids are all very moldable at this age. And they have enough respect for you guys to have respect for, a couple random dudes taking pictures and asking them about football. So,
yep, that's what it's all about, guys, right?
To kind of go off that, sorry to interrupt you, Ryan. So, Coach, I said last night, you got two kids, and I think there were a couple more that are going to college to play football. So Sam Davis and Blake Pete. So I actually sold them, or their families. I sold Sam and Blake their vehicles, and those were. And I've actually sold to a lot of younger kids, like their parents have come in. The kid, he takes the keys, he's out of there. But both of those young men, they are the only two young men, and I say this with 100% honesty. I've sold a lot of cars. They both looked me in the eye, shook my hand, and said, "Thank you very much for helping me today." And like Sammy said, it's a direct reflection of the parenting and for what you guys are doing, man. So that really resonated with me. You know what I mean? Because that kid don't got to shake my hand, man. He's just like, yeah, whatever. I got a car. Sam Davis, though, I'll tell you what, his hand was like that big, and just like that paw shaking my hand. I wanted to say yes, sir. You know what I mean?
He's already so big already just from eating right. Yeah, I mean the amount of food that those guys eat, like 3 entrees at a meal at Temple. I mean each time. So they've got 9 entrees a day.
Telling you, man, I don't know what they're putting in that meat at Eddie's Grill, but there's something going on out there.
You guys think we're big? We always think, Coach, don't we always think we're small compared to everybody else?
It feels like it. You got a couple. We got a couple big ones. We had a couple. I mean, it was hard to make that argument last year, but it always felt like for years we were like, man, when are we ever going to get some size? But
we've seen
law of averages. Law of averages. We're going to have some small kids coming up. I guess maybe in a couple years. Who knows? It'll balance itself all out.
So you guys,
but those guys are a bunch of great kids you're talking about, and it's a testament really to their families. I mean, those are really good kids, all of them.
Yeah. Now, one of the things we're talking about is with the size, and you guys have a pretty it has to be disciplined weightlifting program because of some difficulties with locations and stuff. So you guys really have to, I think, put some effort into that weight program. But you seem to have guys who know that, football games aren't won in August.
No, for sure. That was the second thing. Other than getting the youth league going, the second part of rebuilding this Geneva program was revamping and rebuilding the weight, strength, agility program to be a completely year-round comprehensive program. And our guys have bought into it. My coaches have bought into it. Our kids understand they have to grind. We compete. We have a very, very good lifting program that we follow. The kids push themselves. We monitor everything. For example, I mean, in February, we run 2 liftings a day. We have a morning session for our kids that are athletes in sports. And then we run an after-school session, for the kids that may not be in a sport. So we don't give kids opportunities to say, I can't be there because I have practice. So we're servicing about, if we have 42 varsity guys right now, 10 through 12, I'd say we're servicing anywhere between, 28 to 35 guys a day, in February and March, and they do show up. And we have a robust lifting, strength, agility program, but we've coupled that with a team building program, bonding, events that we do and fundraising that we do and a lot of other things that go into that. So we're trying to address all the intangibles, but you're exactly right. And our guys buy into it. They have to win games in January, February, March, and April and May. You win a lot of games there, and our guys understand that. And I don't. When I first got here, we got out muscled. We got pushed around pretty bad the first 2 years. But we don't get pushed around anymore. We really don't. We're usually doing most of the pushing. So yeah, our program, proud of it. My coaches, that we don't get paid to run weight rooms. We're lifting right now 3 days a week, and we will continue to lift through the season. So we're proud of what we've done in our weight program. I'm proud of my coaches for helping get that thing out there. And really, as the head football coach, that's my thing, is getting this program designed, making sure these kids are coming. We're rewarding them for doing it, challenging them. We have speed and agility testing. It's fairly comprehensive, man. There's not too much these kids can't do physically that we don't know, that we don't measure, that they're not trying to beat the next time we do it. So, our kids show up, though. Their parents bring them in. They show up. They grind. They get it. And if you want to win in football, it is a must. You just got to have it for health. For health reasons. We used to get a lot of guys hurt. We've been very fortunate that our kids are very healthy throughout the season. And Coach Shimsky, took me to a new level to get me to go Mondays to be more of a rehab, mental day, which would further help our guys stay healthier. So, it was me coming up with an idea. What do you think? But normally when Don tells me something, I do it, And so when he thought that was a great idea, it doesn't take much for me to just say, yeah, that's what we're doing then. So I think that was big. We started that how many years ago, Don, the Mondays?
2 years ago. So we'd have more of a recovery day on Monday, and then, heavier practices Tuesday, Wednesday. So then Thursday's your walkthrough type thing. And we feel like it paid dividends.
Yep, for sure. So yeah, we're lifting all year round, man. We'll get 107 lifts in before summer practices start. So yep, we're getting it done.
Yeah, and you know what else is I heard maybe at the closing practices, you talk to those boys about what they're shoving in their gullet. About what they're putting in that body.
Yeah.
Well, that was the uniqueness of last year's group. That was what was really cool about last year's senior group. Those guys invested. Now, they ate lots of bad stuff too, I'm sure, as boys do. But they used their off time very, very wisely to have their bodies recover because they wanted to be at their best. We have guys like that now. We also have some guys that I don't think are, recovering. I think they're going out and, running around, probably playing football games and stuff, on their off time. It is very important, that's the thing that they get in college that we can't give them, is a nutrition program. So all we can do is continue to preach, to eat the right things, stay hydrated, get off your feet when you can get off your feet, ice your bumps and bruises, and just forge forward.
All right.
I want to take this moment for personally to thank both of you guys for coming on here. You guys, not just you two, but your whole staff, everybody's been great with us, talking and giving us an insight this year. We're really excited for Eagles football here because you guys had a special year last year. I think you're going to have a special year this year too. So I just want to take this moment to thank you, Coach Chip, and you, Coach Don.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we look forward. We'll have you guys on again at some point in time during the year. We'll figure that one out. See how things are going, where you guys are at. Yeah, after that Week 7 victory. Yep.
Hey, one question. When we do play Lakeside at Geneva this year, I believe it's a Thursday night game. It's supposed to be a Thursday night game. You guys going to come?
Game of the week. We'll be there covering every minute of it.
Love it. Whose sideline are you?
We just talked to Coach Edwards and said that's going to be the biggest game this county's ever seen. Is if we have anything to do with it.
We'll probably stand like in the middle of the poles. Maybe a little bit more towards Lakeside just because of it, but I can't help it, man. I can't.
I'll tell you where I'm going to stand. Wherever the hell number 35 is not.
That's
because
right.
I'm
That's
just
it.
trying to stay away from that guy.
Listen, I'll tell you what. You guys give me a Geneva Eagles shirt or a jersey, and I'm standing on your sideline with you. I'll be gassing you guys up. I'll be right there on the sideline. I'll have pom poms and everything.
That cat's a cheap date, man.
I'll do it all.
Shirt and a hat. He's in.
Hey,
I'm in.
Hey man, you know how many guys can be bought out with a T-shirt?
He's just
That's like currency for Chip, man. He's got shirts and shirts and shirts to give, man. That's
Hey, we
kids
love
will do
shirts.
anything for kids will do anything for a shirt. You know,
They do.
Hey, so will podcast hosts.
Okay. I don't know. I got to see where Ryan's standing on that. Oh, man,
I can't help it, man. I can't help it. I'll be rooting though for both of you guys. But
I will say you guys have been a lot of fun coming out, though. You've been very personable, very fun to have out. So, like I said, anytime you guys are welcome out at Camp Geneva. Anytime.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, we really do appreciate it. I love watching them kids crack some pads, man. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. But yeah, thank you guys so much again for joining us tonight. We'll link up with you guys again as soon as we can. You never know when we'll stop by at a practice. So thanks again. We will talk to you guys, I guess, when we talk to you. Very excited about the upcoming 2020 season, though.
Great. Go Eagles.
awesome. All right.
Go
Good luck,
Nation.
guys.
Thanks,
Go
guys.
Eagles this year.
Yeah. All right. Everyone out there, don't forget to like, share the stream. Well, at this point, just like the stream. That would be great. But like the stream. Don't forget about us. We'll be coming up here on Tuesday. I'm sorry, Friday. I forgot today was Tuesday. Friday coming up at 8:30. Get some hot topics rolling there. Hopefully by then, DeWine's got things straightened out for OHSAA football this year. Figure it all out then. Till then, we'll catch you. Ryan, getting out of here, man.
It was a great night, guys. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. All of Eagles Nation for showing up. We've had the distinct privilege of getting to cover almost every team in this area. And we're wishing everybody has a great season this year, from Jefferson, Edgewood, St. John, Lakeside, Geneva, and hopefully we can get Conneaut on there so we can wish them good luck too. So this is Sam. I'm signing out. I can't wait to talk to you guys on Friday.
This is Tom. I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much. We will see you Friday. Like Sammy said, we got a little bit of a giveaway coming on Friday. So, get
to that Twitter. Get to that
Twitter.
On that
Twitter. Get on that Twitter. We like the tweets. All right. We'll see
like
the
kids are saying nowadays. Like the kids are saying nowadays. For the boys.
For the boys.
For the boys.
What does that mean? Quit capping. All right. I'm out.
All right,
quit capping. All right. We're out. Later.
Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and go. That other getting old. We got Sam, Ryan, Tom. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spending with Sam, Ryan, Tom. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
For the Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.